People have been against forced marriage becoming a criminal offence because they would argue it will drive it all underground. Well, forced marriage is already underground. So I don't think you could go any further underground than it is. And people say it's going to be very hard for a young person in particular to testify against parents and family members. That's true, but that's true of any type of abuse a young person's reporting. And as long as it's done in the correct way with special measures and sensitivity, that young person will have the courage to come forward. It's a really big issue because it leads to abuse, it leads to rape, it leads to kidnap, it can lead to murder, it can lead to suicide. And you know, by ensuring we deal with it sensitively and correctly, but in a very outspoken way, can prevent it from happening. We have to change hearts and mindsets, and for victims to be able to speak out, and also to change the mindsets of potential perpetrators as well. When criminalisation comes in, one of the things that we would imagine will happen, there'll be a peak of cases being reported to Freedom Charity. And it's us then being able to take this programme forward to ensure that there isn't one victim or potential victim whose voice isn't heard because there isn't the resources there. I think the government have said they've got a desire to help, and I just think now they're going to have to put their actions into money and resources to ensure that every young person that comes forward is addressed correctly and helped, and to prevent this horrendous crime. Legal aid is really essential, that if victims come forward that they're properly represented and have the correct care afforded to them and the best solicitors out there. And actually, because we're talking about the most vulnerable, I would hope that it's not going to affect them in terms of the legal aid cuts, but we're confident that they will be given the help and support. And it will have to be, unfortunately, the voluntary sector, the charity sector that pick up the pieces to try and help these people. Often you've got communities that are very inward-looking and haven't integrated with the West, and people are trying to hold on to values that their parents don't even have anymore. So when we find out that perpetrators are now often a 22-year-old man, you know, that's so worrying, that why they are taking on this horrendous crime and not moving forward with the rest of the UK, because these are often British citizens we're talking about. I think any case that we deal with, certainly when we're dealing with a rescue or, you know, freeing somebody, be it from a life of domestic servitude, sex slavery, whatever it is very, very distressing, but also very rewarding. But we know for that potential person that comes out, they're on a roller coaster. There'll be highs and lows, but it's trying to help them through all the changes that they're going to face. I think it's going to be very difficult for anyone to report anything, but when they know the weight of the law is behind that young person that comes forward to report, hopefully that will give them confidence. And when we start getting the first prosecutions, it should start to make a difference. We're calling it dishonour violence, dishonour crimes, dishonour killings. None of those terms are really strong enough to describe what we're looking at, but using the term honour is completely wrong, and we're pandering to perpetrators. For us, when we go into schools, colleges, universities, the potential victim often don't know. When they're taken abroad to get married and they're going to a cousin's wedding, they don't know that they're going to be the young person marrying their own cousin. They have no idea that's going to happen. But if their best friends are alerted, if that person doesn't come back or goes missing, they can then set the alarms going for everybody else. So that's why education prevention is crucial for us. Letting people know about what to do, and doing nothing isn't an option.